You know, dying level 1 in League of Legends is kind of like rocking up to a job interview with your shirt backwards. Sometimes you've already lost there, and the whole interview is pointless. And sometimes you make up for it with your personality. In this game, oh, it's a little bit embarrassing how I die level 1. But there's so much action past that it is such a small event. So this game, we're playing Miss Fortune Rell against Draven Nautilus. Pretty much lane matchup where we're going to be at each other's throats. MF's a decent pick against Draven just because you can go a more defensive build like BT, play the steel cuts, and really nice combo with Rell. Nautilus immediately flashing level 1. I'm not panicking. I'm waiting for the Ignite to fall off before popping my potion. And Draven's going all in. Here, I just flashed too late. I know the axe is coming. And I know that I can just wait for Rell's rotation of spells to just kill or burn Draven's flash again if he doesn't flash in. So at all points I should be respect flashing the Draven axe. And Viego does a cheeky Raptors to bot start because he sees all of this action. The wave state is looking pretty good for us since Draven's death timer is staggered with Nautilus. I'm able to pile up a bunch of minions. It's not slow pushing to me because Viego had staggered the wave slightly from the gank. But I'm slow pushing to Draven, and this is the really dangerous part for any sort of AD carry. When the wave is slow pushing and the enemy jungle is on your side of the map, walking up like this for 1 or 2 minions is never really worth it because now he's just perfectly set up for the dive. You see the pings going down. He can't even get the cannon minion that's right in front of his face. And the three of us, we know the game plan that's about to happen. Rell just flashes in. No response from Nautilus. And there's thought about this dive on Nautilus, but we decide against it. Too much health to deal with, and he hit level 2. So the success rate of that dive, blowing up this Nautilus 100 to 0, is pretty unlikely without any casualties. I'm just basing a bit further back because I know that Nautilus is really healthy, so he can just walk past the wave and ignore the minion wave. I'm here back in lane, just receiving the wave. Not much to do, I'm just waiting for the double axe, and I'm not going to make the same mistake that Draven made earlier. Just last hitting all these creeps under the tower. So now we're also thinking about the summoners that have been used. One thing that I'm kind of bad at tracking these days is if supports or AD carries are running Cosmic Insight, because that does change things a bit when you have an exchange of summoners at the same time. So knowing that my barrier is up, I know that Draven has barrier. And this is a really good time for us to fight because, again, we've got the wave slow pushing, Viego's nearby. Unfortunate that I don't ding level 4 because it would have allowed me to either Draven and he would have died 100% of the time there. But we get the kill nonetheless, and Viego lands really nice hook, finishing the Draven. Okay. Now the only thing that sucks about this is that I didn't get either of the kills, so if you look at my gold count, I'm looking a bit poor despite the lane state. I'm at 27 CS and Draven's at 11, but the only thing I can really buy here is longsword and boots. I was thinking about potentially killing the 3 melee creeps and staying a little bit longer so that the rest of the wave crashes and I get enough gold for my pickaxe. But yeah, Draven's back in lane and we see Talon sliding up the dragon, but I have to attend to my wave because if I rotate now, I risk losing the entire wave here into the tower. I don't want that to happen. And you can see here I'm using my F key and checking what's happening to Viego. And we see that he's already dead. I am a little bit late to the rotate. The thing I was concerned with was making sure that the wave, while I was leaving, was not going to crash into the tower. It's fine if I lose a bunch of creeps, but I don't want it to crash into the tower because then what will happen on the next wave is it will start pushing into the enemy tower faster. Get a really nice trade onto the Draven here. He's walking a little bit too far. It almost kind of scares me when I see that, because it kind of telegraphs to me that, hey, I don't care about your giant wave that you have. My jungler is behind me. But it might just be just complete stupid aggression, and this is part of it where I see the Draven flash and I'm like, I'm just gonna pop my barrier and fight you. I could have popped my adaptive potion there at the same time. Actually no, I think I got it off level up. But the main like problem I have with that Draven play is that he loses the entire cannon wave. So even if my life is worth slightly more gold than he is, like you can see I only got 263 and he gets Draven cash out. The thing is, he loses all the XP and I'm already up 2 levels. I'm level 6 to level 4 and he's further digging himself in that hole because the wave is now slow pushing back to me. And he denied that entire wave by himself. Like that was a Draven action. He voluntarily went for that flash in. Right there, we forced the Draven-y, and you can see that Rel is super keen to fight again because Draven's walking back up. And I'm ulting from a pretty safe position. I can't get cancelled here. And it's just lights out, right? Because of that earlier decision. Like the wave is slow pushing out, Draven has to make a decision. And it's just over for him at this point. There's no recovering. End up sharing the plague. I'm not gonna... Oh, I am pushing the rest of this wave. My mistake. I thought I would decide to base earlier, but I'm seeing here that Nautilus is showing on the grubs, meaning I have a free 1v1 against the Draven, but I still kind of have to be cautious because his champ's base damage is just ridiculous, and you'll see here what kind of goes wrong. Ding the 7, I'm like, oh, I'm 7 vs 5, there's no way I lose this, right? And oof. Dodge the sidestep the E and cancel the auto right there, and it cost me my life. It's so painful to see. Because otherwise, this Draven would just look like a complete idiot. And instead I'm trading 1 for 1 when I'm level 7 to 5, which just doesn't seem right. Something I could have also done is like flash into the bush if I kited that way. But really it's just that auto cancel at the last second that cost me everything. Now here we see Nautilus up in mid again, and this Draven is no business being here. I end up greeting my ult and just taking auto attack battle, but end up just having to flash the Draven ult. I'm not sure how many stacks he's on, so I don't really want to risk the execute being there. It's cost my flash and my entire HP bar had I not ulted. Now I'm gonna push in the rest of the wave. Look for a reset. I have Bloodthirster on base. But here come the mercenaries. Flanking behind, we've got Swain and Nautilus and Talon. I'm just hiding in the alcove, and I can see that from the silhouette that Talon is right next to me, so I just point blank ult him. End up getting hooked anyways. But hey, it's an elaborate bait. I got the Nautilus and Swain invested, trying to finish me, and the poor Draven, he just got back to lane and he's dead again. So I'm gonna finish Bloodthirster and Plated Steel Caps from the assist gold. I decide to run mid here because Ryze is already taken over bot, but for some reason swap doesn't really the swap doesn't happen, so I end up going bot. It's not so bad because I haven't finished my quest, but I'm really close to it, so it's not that big of a deal. See Nautilus roaming up, and I'm fishing for a fight on Draven because at this point, if we're not all-inning each other, any trade I take against him with Bloodthirster is going to be favorable because I can just heal up off of the wave. And this is just purely an example. I chunk him to 40%, dodging everything, and I'm back to full HP. So if Draven wants to continue to lane, he's more than welcome to. I'm searching for his recall. I don't see him anywhere. I'm free to take some of these tower shots because frankly my HP bar is an infinite resource at this point. Nautilus is going to come down and stop me from taking the bot tower, but it doesn't really matter. First tower's already dead from top tier 1. So while all the action is happening on the top side of the map, I am just playing super defensive. I'm prepared. I'm mentally prepared to just drop my ulti if they look like they're diving. It's really difficult for them to really dive at all. I kind of have to walk into them and get hooked out of tower range. There really is nothing for me to do. I'm just receiving another wave with Nautilus staying here. So it's just me relying on the fact that my team should be winning the top side because they have numbers. So although I want to finish the cull stacks remaining, I go and do my Krugs because I don't know where Nautilus is. He ends up being spotted top side, but I'm thinking like, I've already committed to these Krugs, so I'm gonna get the job done. It's a bunch of gold in my pocket, and I'm a bit late to push out the bot wave, considering Draven has also roamed down. Roamed up, rather. And in this instance, I want to get the next wave to finish the cull. So I'm just thinking here, I'm not showing early enough so that Talon gets kind of intrigued and runs bot. But I'm going to stand in the middle of the lane where it's likely not warded. And then just drop my ult once the wave arrives. So the fight continues in mid lane. We've got Swain just dropping his ult. But this is all good for me because I'm winning my 1v1. So as long as I'm stuck in a 1v1 with Draven, I'm super happy. He ends up leaving preemptively, knowing I'm coming back to lane. So I take my chance to break the bot tower here. This kind of cues the enemy jungler to know that I'm around the bot side of the map. And you can see in a sec, there he is. Talon surprise attack, and I just bury it through the BT shield, the plated steel caps. I'm gonna heal this up off the next wave anyways, so I'm not too concerned about being chunked out. Now pings are going down on the dragon, so I know this is the side of the map I want to play with. I want to play on the bot side. In this instance, because Talon doesn't have ulti, there's not much threat of me face checking a lot of these bushes. I think one thing I should have focused on more is maintaining my mana. Because without enough mana with my E plus ult, my champ is, you know, not as effective as it could be. And in this instance, I'm walking around the bot side of the map, so Draven is naturally drawn to the top side. And he was hovering to where his Talon was. But Ryze had a quick move from top lane and caught him off guard. I'm going to use this time to min-max as well. Since we don't need everyone around Dragon, I'm going to hit the mid tower. It ends up being a big engage when Nautilus drops his ult, so I'm flashing preemptively to not give him hook range. And once I see him use hook on the rel, I drop the ulti down. And before I can get to the Talon, I have to get past the Swain. Malphite hits the giant ulti, the one-man ulti on the Swain. We end up getting the kill. So, blue buff handed from Draven actually kind of saved me there, giving me enough mana to play out the rest of the team fight. But Zahen's gonna join us, and there's not much that will happen, except this Draven walking up so aggressively the whole game. Zahen decides it's his turn to return the favor and give us a bunch of gold. Ending up going back to base here. I have Infinity Edge in base. This is gonna be a huge spike for my damage. Just look at my AD at 17 minutes in the game. 260 or 271. What I'm mostly looking at here is that most of my teammates here are going to be going off map because some of them still haven't recalled from the dragon fight, like the Ryze, like the Viego. So I'm not looking to create too much variance, but I do see them overstay topside. It looks like it doesn't really matter. They're just punishing the Draven and Swain trying to fight 2v3. But that is the reason why I'm not pushing up to mid tier 2 further to try and like push the game more, because I predicted that Viego and Ryze should have already based after that top tier 1. And so it's not my turn to walk up to that top, mid tier 2. You can see the play is still continuing. Herald is being dropped to make the most out of the death timers from the top fight. And here, I'm trying to get the next wave just to make sure that Herald crashes into the tower as well. But I end up mistakenly hopping in the Herald, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a quick way of maybe I can drift it to bot tier 2. And unfortunately, just short. I'm not experienced in driving the Herald, as you can see. Red's gonna ult in. I'm gonna follow up with an ulti just on the 2 melee champions near him. And wow, just look at this healing, by the way. 650 health from one Sundered Sky. Absolutely ridiculous. Trying to help my main man Malphite here, but he's gonna fall, unfortunately. And this is an itemization mistake that's coming up soon when I base. I'm building Mortal Reminder because of the ridiculous amount of healing on the enemy team. You got Zahen, you got Swain. And one thing I didn't notice is that in my teammate's inventory, well, you'll see a Thornmail topside. You got Mortal Reminder on Viego. So we've kind of overstacked on Grievous Wounds, and I could have just went LDR instead. But again here, walking up mid is really dangerous as my teammates are setting up. So I'm just going to grab the buffs. I'm waiting for people to show. I ping that Swain can be on the way to bot as Ryze is fighting. And here, naturally, we could gravitate towards Baron because there's 3 people bot side. Not only to start because we can tank it pretty well, but we can also look to turn around a team fight with some sort of Rel or Malphite engage. But instead, Viego kind of just has his own idea. He wants to be his own hero. And joins the bot fight. Unfortunately, his build is like full glass cannon. So he's just going to get one shot as soon as he comes out of his possession. And this is a little funny clip. Draven is just having a hard time. He's sweating on the keyboard, min-maxing his axe dropping and axe catching. But then Malphite kind of just stands there and cooks him. And here, this is the perks of like leaning up to the top side of the lane where I know that everyone was just spotted on the bot side. And so Swain has to commit super hard to try and even land a CC on me. I'm walking up to just 3-tap the Swain. And here you can see, I'm not sure if that's the Bandle Pipes animation, but it flocks to someone in Fog of War. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I thought I had the correct timing on the flash, but the Talon Q ends up following me through the entire distance. I guess I flashed way too early. And my ult looks like someone who just started the game and first timed MF. Immediately channel it for half a second and then cancel it. But my thinking there is that I need to lifesteal to stay alive. So if I'm in my ult channeling my ult, my chances of survival are none. Leaning up to the top side now because the objective is Baron. Rel's already kind of trading some blows. But I'm making sure that I'm not giving this Nautilus any sort of hook range. One thing that you should always check around any sort of engaged sport is tab check the scoreboard and check if they have Hex Flash or not. Because if they have Hex Flash, then you know that they don't have Flash. And vice versa. Right here we're pressured to make a move because for some reason Malphite is grouped here and not covering bot. But we decide this is the perfect time to do Baron. I have the mid wave already pushed in, so you see the Draven is pulled to the tier 3 to try and cover that wave, or else he's just losing a cannon wave for a maybe contest sort of Baron. Get caught by the Nautilus hook running towards the Swain. Probably could have been a lot more patient and just let my teammates in the Ryze ult join the fight there. But it's gonna end up getting us a couple kills because of that, so great engage by me. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. This is a tip about min-maxing as well, where if you can't really end the game, getting this tier 3 tower in mid lane is sort of pointless. It has a bunch of plates, but remember, if you're sharing the plates between 3 or 4 people, it's actually not that much gold being shared amongst everyone. You're getting 40 or 30 gold per player. And that's why I pinged his Malphite to go top and make sure he secures the wave, and we can also get the tier 2 tower on the way out. Playing around the next dragon here. There's a bit of a mistake in the setup where Rel is getting caught before anyone else is on the map. Our side laners still our side laners are still side laning, and yeah, it's not looking good. We all kind of fall in that trap of, hey, I think I can save the team fight. I can save the team fight, and we all go in one by one, get pulled in, and the Swain ult is just resetting. All right, and here we are back in mid lane. We're gonna get the red buff. And I noticed that the Zehen is walking around the mid lane bush here, so I'm gonna check the bush with the E. And he gets a little bit cocky here, jumping over by himself, and I just noticed that, okay, he's committing with his ult. He's not using that as an escape, so I'm gonna flash preemptively, knowing that Nautilus is walking up as well. And hey, we pick ourselves up a nice triple in another situation where the game ending isn't on the cards, so well, that's at least what I thought. The game ending wasn't on my mind, so I ran towards bot. But instead, we're insisted on ending the game, and it's true. I miscalculated the death timers. And looking at it, we've got 3 grubs. We've got plenty of time. We've got 2 tanks. We can take these towers really easily, right? The game should end. But I think I had other plans. I was padding my stats a little bit. I'm not able to proc my love tap during the entire fight. I'm focusing one target at the same time, so... Uh-oh. The game didn't end. So I'm gonna deploy out mid here again. Waiting for my teammates to walk up so I don't get assassinated by the Talon. But we see Draven recalling around bot wave. So this kind of gives us the green light to just start. The only worry here is if Talon somehow sneaks in on the left side of the pit here where we don't have vision. So I'm dropping Blue Trinket. Win the 50-50 anyways. But now this is the patience that all AD carries need to think about in team fights, right? This Nautilus and Swain is still in front of me, and as soon as they walk around the wall, when now I deem that Nautilus cannot hook me anymore, I start channeling my ult, because it's a free position where I can deal damage without being attacked. And I've deemed that the focus has switched from me to the rest of the team fight. Now we're just gonna march up mid and finish the game. Finish what we started earlier. Actually, I'm not sure what happened earlier. I don't think anything happened. This is just us pushing the Baron and ending the game, you know? I do want to kill this Raven one last time, just for the satisfaction, you know? He's got 16 deaths. But yeah, dying level 1 didn't end up costing me much. Thanks to my jungler, thanks to the wave, and thanks to Draven for playing a little bit too cocky in those crucial moments where we're slow pushing. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to elevate your League of Legends skills and be coached by me, use the link wtl.lol/crab and use crab10 at the checkout to get $10 off your first month.